So, hi everyone, I am Cyclone. I will be joined momentarily by Rail and Tanker. Just having some back-end problems he's getting in here, but he will be here shortly. So we have our check of the Sanctuary, and unfortunately in the scramble to get this stream set up, I missed what the time was, so I may need some assistance on that. But we are getting our map check. We do see I saw a Crystal Desert Palace. I did not catch the others, it was just too quick. So we do have the win marked for Gem, and I think Railin is with us now. Or maybe not. Anyway, we are going to get our look, I believe, at the Lumberjack Ledge at this point. We just saw our tree pole was hearts, just individual hearts. Gem finding that now as well, going by the Lumberjacks, dutifully cutting that tree. And they'll just do that forever if you let them. But checking inside the Lumberjack we have, that looked like a blue rupee, so nothing important there today. And going to head around now to the Lost Woods area. And we will see what's going on in the Lost Woods in just a moment here. So just a reminder, this is the German Link to the Past Grandmaster Tournament. This is also broadcasting on Speed Gaming Deutsch. So you'll be able to pop over there if you want to catch your commentary in German today. And there's our Power Glove in the Lost Woods. Odds are very high. That was a 10 to be the first one you find, as they are progressive upgrades. If the other one is found in the Light World, it will now show up as the Titan's Myth. If it's in Dark World, it will still be the Titan's Myth. So we just had our map check for Eriror as well. I missed it over there, unfortunately. But we are finding out that there are bombs inside the lost spot in the well. So we do know that the well is useless. Or not the well, the drop spot, the Lost Woods, is useless. So Gem is going to make his way down to Kakrigo. Eriror, I think, is doing a Houlihan. Or no, he's going to the back of Escape. He's going to the back of Escape first, and he's going to see what's in there. So Gem going to Blind's Hideout in the Lost Woods. In the Kakariko Village, I mean. And there are our booties, and the Book of Medora, and oh my gosh, a stack back of Escape. Boots, Book of Medora, and the Fire Rod in the back of Escape today. That is quite a back of Escape. That was the play that Eriror made, and he found that red goo there as well. So Eriror already taking advantage of the boots to run around. He is heading over to the Eastern Palace area to get that cleaned out. And he is going to see what's in Sahasrar's closet right now. Now the question is, will he continue to Eastern Palace proper, or will he, as I've seen these runners both tend to do, skip it, try and wait for the bow? We'll find out. As we find the mirror, the $20, and another $20. And let's see what's in the well. There's $20 there. I saw a KS Smarty lit up for a moment on Gem's side. I don't know if you actually picked that up or not. But it looks like the rest of the well is pretty kaput. Apparently, Gem found the bone in the well. And the ball vendor provided some financial fortune for him today. Eriror checking out the boot spot. We're not used to seeing this very early. Just a full heart container today. And today going to the chicken hut for Gem. Gem finds 10 arrows, so he's going to he'll be able to use those right away if he wants to, because he does have the bow.
And now I can finally also join that commentary. Hello, everyone.
There is Raylan. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, aside from this heat. Yeah.
Did you say the heat?
Something like that.
Oh, that's just the fire of anticipation here, as Eriror picks up his bow in the Blind's Hideout.
Yeah, if this heat is anywhere as hot as the outside temperature, this is going to be quite a race.
Well, we've definitely had a good series so far. We had Eriror winning 2-0 to reset the bracket after Gem finally took his so-called loss for the losers bracket. So this is our grand final. Whoever wins this series will be the winner of this tournament. Gem won the first game rather convincingly, I believe, in the first game. Eriror was a few dungeons behind due to some unfortunate occurrences, as that was Cane of Burner that was in the well. That's what I saw. Why I saw Samari accidentally lit up at one point. Gem doing the race game. I didn't get to check that initially, but he's going to see what it is right now. It is the Moon Pearl, so if he checked it, he went back for it.
Yeah, you kind of want to get that one.
No kidding.
I mean, you could do stuff without it, but at some point you might want to go into the Dark World.
Yeah, it's pretty much mandatory to beat the game. Meanwhile, by the way, something that I don't know if you noticed while you were getting your side set up, but Eriror made the play to the back of escape, which Gem is going to do right now, so he's going to catch up with that right now. Back of escape was pretty loaded today. We have 3 very important items in there today, and Boots is one of those items that Eriror is flashing right now, running around. In fact, that Boots is the very first chest right here. As we're seeing Sick Kid on Eriror, Eriror is going to get $50 there, and there's Gem's Fire Rod and Book of Medora. So Desert Palace is accessible.
Yes, it basically was your Desert Palace care package there in Back of Escape.
Exactly. That's like a hit, go here, because there's your fire source as well with the Fire Rod. You don't even need the lamp. So Gem hopping into the water to set up a Houlihan or a Water Walk, or we'll see what he decides to do here.
So
Looks like he might have been storing a Water Walk.
yeah, if I see that right, so we have 6 minutes in, and we can already clear 2 crystal dungeons.
Yeah, it looks like it. So I wonder if Gem will actually finish the trip into Eastern Palace this time, knowing he can clear it. That mirror might give him another plan, however, because, again, Eriror already has that, but since he is now expecting to get over there quickly, provided he finds some flippers, he might just put off Eastern until later, like he has been through this tournament. But it looks like he might instead be going to make the Eastern plays, get a bite, and say this is probably what logic is. It's leading right there.
Yeah, I mean, with the mirror you could combine it with Palace of Darkness, but oftentimes Palace of Darkness turns out to be a pendant, and are you sure that you want to go there with the pendant?
Exactly. Now, I still think with the back of escape being all desert, that's leading me to think there's something at desert, but we will find out as the game goes on here what actually is going to happen here. As the first chest, Eastern Palace produces the requisite map that every dungeon has. Having a little sync up there, it looks like, on the streams there, so nice and sync now. And Gem going to go to the right side. Now, we do not have the hookshot as we normally would not in the vanilla game coming over here, so he's going to have to do a drop down in the upper room here to get around to the chest. Otherwise, you can go down and hookshot straight to the chest, as you'll see in a moment. And there's what I mean. So Gem's going to find the big key. We do need that.
Yeah.
Now, the dark room later on in the in this path after the big chest down there, that dark room coming up is actually out of logic, but it is possible to light the torches with a fire rod and get through that area, as there are some torches there you can light with the fire rod if you know where they are and you know how to hit them. So I'll be curious to see if Gem decides to do that to make the dark room easier and get that last item, but it will still be considered out of logic if he does that.
That is if he gets magic somewhere.
Indeed. I'm going to read that a hint. I saw a piece of heart and a unique item in the Western Wing of Swamp Palace. We may want to do the Western Wing of Swamp Palace, or we may not.
Yeah, we have to see. We still need flippers and hammer for that one.
For all we know, it could be the bug catching net too, so.
Who knows?
I mean, we do need it to beat Agnum, so. Hint, hint.
I mean,
Gem?
it wouldn't be the first time for the hookshot to be in Swamp.
No, it wouldn't be the first time at all. I've seen that. I've seen the hammer in Swamp too, oddly enough. Very, very interesting locations for that to be. Gem is doing the dark rooms, but obviously, as you noted, he doesn't have any magic, so he is going to do them dark as usual. Eriror also does not have any magic. He is also going to do that dark room. So that means whatever item is in this chest that we're going to make visible in just a second is out of sequence. They are not supposed to have this item yet. Fortunately, it's just a piece of heart, so we're not going to think about it too much.
Yeah, but no magic to be found there just yet, so the next room has to be done in the dark too. But if you have the bow, you can kind of just help you with an arrow to locate the Eriror.
And this is why I said I think I like the desert play first in terms of a logical perspective, because, again, you have to go in the dark. There's some magic. You have to go in the dark to clear this dungeon. It's out of sequence to complete this dungeon right now, and you're going to probably come back and do Palace of Darkness later in 7 times out of 10. So you want to make sure that you follow the logic sometimes. And in that sense, Desert Cross is a better play. But a lot of runners in this tournament are comfortable doing this room in the dark, and this is nothing to them. That's why they can still do this.
Yeah, considering that is the final of the German tournament, these both runners have played a lot already, and
of course, and they played a lot before this tournament too.
Yeah, so they are most comfortably probably with those dark rooms.
So we are playing on hard mode today, and we'll talk about some of the differences as we go here. But one of the differences is there's no silver arrows. Now they don't have them yet, but so this boss wouldn't have been any easier anyway, even if they had them. But the silver arrows would not have worked in that case anyway. Gem does clear it, get the 20 rupees from the Armos Dice, and is now going to move on. So both items in the dark were not items that would be, let's just say, interesting in terms of sequence rate perspective. So there is no sequence broken here, just a dungeon completed earlier than it logically should have been.
Yeah, I mean, with due to having the fire rod, we never may need to find that lamp since we already have our fire source.
Exactly.
So that in the end it could turn out to be sequence broken after all, but as for now,
well,
it doesn't really matter.
Jem is going to check out the dam right now, and I'm going to be curious if he continues the South Shore check or if he's going to go straight to Desert Palace. That's something that I'm very curious about, because neither runner has checked the South Shore yet.
With an early bow, Eastern is usually the first place to go, and that looks like Desert.
Yep, he is making the Desert play. He can always come back and check the South Shore later, he figures.
Or skip it if you find your hammer.
Yeah, who knows? Or he'll wait for the flute and he'll do Ice Rod Cave and go to Mini Molder from there. You never know. So let's just hope that doesn't come back to bite him. If there's something important in either of those locations, then that could come back to hurt him at some point.
Depends on what Ari does here. Now, if he does the same play, then it hurts both of them. So it evens out. And
well, he's going to pick up his bombs first. Then he will continue to Desert Palace.
Yeah, he was on only 3 bombs, so getting a few more never hurts.
You do need him at some point, such as for Hype Cave, and let's see what's on the, let's see what's in the chest here first, then we'll get to the torch, and see what's on the torch. We have a boot, so we're going to be able to get it off, whatever it is. And he got a small key, so we're going to go and check the right side first, before worrying about what's on the torch, just in case we don't need it looks like.
Yeah.
A big key most likely is going to be over here or on the torch. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, even if the big key was not here, then instead there would have been likely at least one item here, so for the right side to turn out completely empty, the chance was pretty low.
Well, it could have still been both dungeon items, because you can put both items on the boss and in the big chest. That is possible. So, the right side being empty was something that was fully possible, in my opinion, but in this case, it turned out the big key was there, and that was something we need. There is the compass. We don't need that. We will check the intel, though. A piece of heart is in a chest, requiring a special lock. Gary, you're not getting your lunch today.
Yeah. One of the more useful hints we can expect to get.
Agree. One of the more out-of-the-way locations to pick up as well.
And also with the left side swamp pinned already, I think we cannot expect much more from the hint system.
Right, we're getting that hit, so Gary is indeed not getting as much today. And Jem is going through the left exit. The right exit draws back into the desert, so the left exit gets you into the back of Desert Palace. And this is just a linear path, no real maze here, just get through and survive. So he's going to do that. Eriror is going to be exiting into that same area shortly himself, a few paces behind here. But they are following each other, except for the divergence at the start in terms of the item pickups, where Eriror had a brief advantage getting to back of escape first, but Jem made that up. With the exception of that, they're pretty much in sync with each other in terms of what they're doing so far.
Yeah. I mean, no Dark World access yet, so you usually do what's the most important, and that is clearing crystals. So no wonder they're doing the same. It's gonna be interesting what they do after this, if there turns out to be nothing here on Lenmo as well.
Well, what will be interesting is that they do have the mirror. They can sequence break Death Mountain, but again, nothing on Death Mountain is in logic yet. So I'm going to assume the lamp or the flute is probably here if they're going to be going to Death Mountain. Also, Tower Harry is a pendant. They don't need to finish it unless there's something on the pedestal or the... actually, that's not the green pendant, it looks like. So yeah, unless there's something on the pedestal, they don't have to finish that. Or unless Moldorm has something. Oh, there's our sword.
Sword? I mean, it's nice to have, but right now it doesn't open any more checks.
Yeah, what can they do now? Agina has to have something. We have not seen Agina yet. I'm leaning to think that Agina might be progression here. What else can they still do? Mini Moldorm they have to do. Ice Rod Cave they still have to do. So the progression is somewhere along the South Shore or right here.
Or on King Zora, which is melodic. And
very true.
That glove.
Very true. Now, chances are, if they do King Zora, they're going to sequence break the Hobo and Waterfall Cave while they're at it. But we'll see again if they do decide to do that. There's our second sword. This is starting to scream Aghanim.
Yeah, but Aghanim would turn up the lamp, which would put Death Mountain back in logic. So we might see that first then.
Well, if they go to Death Mountain, chances are if they get the lamp, they will definitely go to Death Mountain before they go to Aghanim, that is for sure. But we'll see if there's anything fruitful up in what they can access when they get up there. They're not going to have access to the right side because they don't have the hammer or the hookshot, so they can't get to the right side at all. There's not a lot of items available. So unless they find one of those two items, this is screaming at Aghanim right now. So this is going to be a big check right here. This mini Moldorm cave, and called mini Moldorm cave because those mini Moldorms. There's a King of Samaria. There's our shovel that can dig up something. There's a heart container and the cave. There's our mushrooms. So this is a fetch quest cave today. It looks like.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got 3 fetch quests there.
We didn't get was the powder.
Yeah.
And there was a space open there with that heart container, so... Bit disappointing.
Disappointed! Excuse me. Pardon my Hercules impersonation there. Wow, there's our Ether Medallion. Now that's nice to have, but it doesn't give us anything right now, at least not immediately. It may later. What I mean by that is you see there's 2 dungeons at the bottom of the tracker on the right side, Misery Mire MM and Turtle Rock TR. Those are opened by those unknown medallions, which are currently blank circles. Ether could be that medallion, or it could be Bombos next to it on the left, or Quake next to it on the right. We will not know until later. We can't get there right now anyway, so who cares? And as I forecast, Jem is sequence breaking the waterfall, so he is going to water walk into there and get a piece of heart. And a cold one. Back open a cold one.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else in Logic aside from King Zora right now?
No,
To have our progression?
not at all. I don't think there is. This is either the flute or the lamp, in my opinion.
Or the
Either
hammer?
either that or it's the shovel or mushroom.
Right, we got those fetch quests.
Yeah, bombs. It's a fetch quest.
So, whenever I see that mushroom early, my eyes are kinda taking over on that one. Since...
Now, Jem did not go to the witch with the mushroom while he was in the area.
Yeah, it's a bit out of the way for that routing. And if you take the water portal, you get out at water portal cave, and you then have either to go down to the witch or up to Zora.
Now, Ryrie didn't do it either, so he also did not take that path. So Jem cleaned up the Bonk Rock location, which Ryrie already checked, so that puts them a little more in tandem right now. And let's see where they diverge here. Jem might be making his way over the witch right now. He might be doing Houlihan. He needs some more money.
Nope, that is a water walk.
Oh, nice water walk. He does go over to the witch.
Yep.
Now this is in logic. He just took a workaround way to get there. We found our shield in the shovel spot, so it has to be the witch. The witch has to have something. Jem made the correct play here. Rauer's going to have to come this way next since he's out of options.
Yeah.
No, it's $50. What?
So
what do we have?
Look.
What are we missing?
Front of escape? That
Oh, that's right.
One?
That's right. No one cleaned out escape.
Yeah, so that has to be the last thing that are in logic.
I was writing other things, but that is indeed still there. So, yeah, Front of Escape has 3 ends, possibly Dark Cross, but that would need the lamp to get there anyway. So that's not in logic right now anyway until they do have the lamp. Eriror did a hard reset. He did not like what he found, apparently.
Yeah, so he is trying to save that mushroom for potential fake powder later.
Exactly. And Jem is going to Front of Escape, and this actually works out nicely, because if Front of Escape does not have... Well, if Front of Escape only produces the lamp and nothing else, then he may just decide, you know what, I'm here, this is the play, I'm doing Aghanim. Or if he finds the lamp, he can even go to that mountain. I'll be curious to see that.
Yeah, I mean, something has to be here, and either it points to Aga...
Well, there's something! There's something. That gives us Dark World access.
So we have the hammer on Uncle. So...
Someone forgot to tell Uncle this is not a standard seed today. He didn't have to have the hammer.
Yeah. But...
Oh! Ryer's going to do more of the castle before doing the Uncle, it looks like.
So that one might be potentially big, or just a time loss, because I don't know how fast Jem is gonna go back to check that if there actually is something.
If Eriror finds the hookshot down here, Jem will not be back for a long time. I saw a red crystal over at Thieves Town and at Palace of Darkness, and we'll let our tracker update the rest of that.
I think the pendants were green on Meyer and the blue on Skullwoods.
Our tracker will momentarily fill that in, as the tracker can't hear us anyway on our side. So far, Hype Cave was just arrows and bombs and arrows and a boomerang. Raylan, rate that Hype Cave.
1.5 for the more liked boomerang.
I'll give a 1 out of instead of a 0 because, you know, that's a full quiver of arrows. That could be useful. Raven, chat forecasting the Palace of Darkness probably will be the play according to one of our viewers here. So we're going to see what Jem does decide to do. He might be heading towards... No, he's not going to Swamp. He might be heading to Swamp already for some reason, but he can't complete it. So that wouldn't have made sense to me. He's going to go and check the Bombos tablet. Not something you get to see very often 25 minutes into the seed, but Jem got the book early, and this is leading him to think this is something. So pray to the gods, hold the Master Sword in the air, and what falls from the sky as we get some bat wings, we get some bombs. And back to the portal. So I don't think he checked K45 on the way down here. I'm curious if he's going to go up and check that now. And that seems to be what he might be doing. K45.
On the other side, we are going to see a dog cross-check.
And we get to see what it is thanks to the torch being lit. And it is out of logic, but it is a piece of heart.
So nothing of importance in the front of escape, so...
That's going to go badly for Eriror because Jem will not have any reason to go back there if he doesn't feel inclined.
Yep.
Now, Eriror did get the hammer, so he actually got that first, it looks like, before going into the rest of the castle. Not a bad play to clean it out, just didn't work out for him. So Eriror did do his map check. Jem is heading to Village of Outcasts. Actually, you go to Racegate first, I think. After getting some money.
Yeah. Not quite enough money for for digging game yet. So.
Yeah, where it was digging game, I meant. So he's going to get the arrow shots past these miniature power gloves. Hit the monkeys.
So, and on every side we have now the choice to either do the same with what Jem did right now, or do the other thing and go to Palace of Darkness. But
I think he's also reading the Bombos tablet.
yep.
With the early book, that's just screaming. You don't have to come back over here for purple chests anyway, so you might as well get out of the way. And he takes an untimely death. That is going to bother him.
Yeah.
Now that bonk just got him in the way of those squids. Those squids said,
Yeah. Moving around in the Dark World with only green mail can hurt, as most of the enemies do 2 hearts of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get hit twice and you only have 4 hearts, you die.
Yep, that's pretty much how it works. And Eriror now moving to a different location. I think he's planning to try to get to... Is he going to Skull Woods?
We have the fire rods, so we can fully clear it, and with
Is he?
Sword...
No, wait. He's checking the pedestal. Ladies and gentlemen, get your pedestal hype in chat. I did not expect this. So let's see what's on the pedestal today as the book comes out and we find just a little piece of love. Eriror thought he was going to make a big play with that loss of life in the Dark World, but didn't work out for him. At least he knows he doesn't have to clear the pendants. Jem may still decide to do that if he's looking for something later.
Potentially. Although you still have the chance to do a quick pet check when you actually want to go and do the morph, although since it should be a pendant, unlike marked on the tracker, there is probably not much reason to go there.
You're saying Skullwoods was a pendant because it's not marked correctly?
I believe so, yes. I think Skullwoods is the other, I believe, the blue pendant. I mean, we have 8 crystals right now tracked on the tracker, so something is wrong.
Anyway, we are now in Thieves Town. We are checking out the 4 chests in the front area of Thieves Town. Both were doing this at the same time. There's our big key. It had to be out here.
Yeah, we already found the map also, and that is something you don't want to see that early.
No, that usually suggests that hammer chest could be important later. What do I mean by hammer chest? You'll see.
The other ones were 2 items, so that's good.
That puts more likely chance that the map or even the key itself will be in the hammer chest.
Yeah, so the small key can right now only be in the main chest, back down in the prison cell, or in the big chest itself. So kind of like a 50-50 on that one.
Pick a coin and see which side comes up. That's what's basically going to happen there. And we're going to get a look at the hint tile upstairs before the switch is triggered. You have to push the switch to move on. But we want to see the hint tile first because that's behind a thing. And looks like there's some cash to Mini Cave today. So if you're working on your post-heroship university scholarship, that's a good stop. But otherwise, we're not going to see that today. We've got to get that education at Hyrule University, right?
Yep.
And the Sunshine Room, as I call it, only produces money today. And that bug hurts.
Yeah, was that the third 20 rupees that we found on Skull? What's?
I saw these two. I didn't see the first one. And I think you mean Thieves Town, not Skullwoods.
Yeah, I meant Thieves Town.
Blind knew what he was after. Say, he wanted the money. If they don't have money, they can't spend it. Not really a pebble, we'll go with it. Gem coming downstairs. Eriror already at the maidens area. And there's our key. Hello.
So we take the detour.
So 2 rooms to the left, there's a chest that is locked by a hammer, and we're going to be opening that up right now. Yeah, that was worth the trip.
Useless.
That was worth the trip. So, Blind, you will furnish whichever item you have, please. So, we're going to take this fair maiden, but before we go outside, we're going to give her some sun, and she doesn't like that very much, and lazy worms keep dragging their feet. I can't read that one, apparently. And nice blind fight. Gem is doing the same thing right now, just as one more head to go. And they're going to be right behind each other here. So given that Eriror checked the back of escape, but Gem did not, he's actually slightly ahead in terms of foot movement right now, considering that. So going to be interesting to see how this plays out if Gem decides he needs to go to the back of escape because he's looking for something and ends up putting a lot of time into that.
Although Eri has to do a digging game and Stumpy at K45 at some point.
True. So we're getting C-shaped house right now. And why we call it C-shaped house? Well, look at the screen. And coming outside, and Eriror now getting his C-shaped house.
Gonna get a bumper cave check.
They do have the cape, so they can pick it up if they need to. So this is a very worthwhile check.
Yep, gonna pick up that quake. We might gonna need it, and
hello.
We now have 2 out of 3 medallions, so we have a pretty good chance that we actually have at least one of the medallions needed.
The odds are very high at this point that one of them is going to be useful. Of course, for all we know, Bombos might open both dungeons, but if Misery Mire is the one that's opened by Bombos and the other one is not, then we're all good for that. We'll find out later. So Eriror is going to continue his checks right now. Going to... I don't think we got a hint for Graveyard Caves, Graveyard Ledge, so... No, we did get a hint for above the pose, didn't we? There was some cash above the pose, or am I...
I think that was just Mimic Cave.
No, there was a Mimic Cave one. I thought I saw it. Maybe there wasn't a pose one. We're going to find out right now anyway, whatever it is. And Jem just found out what it is.
I think we only had Purple Chest, Baptide Swamp, and Mimic Cave.
Yeah, you're right. But it turns out I was right because it is cash above the pose. We just didn't get the hint like I thought we did. That I was wrong about. Jem might bonk here. I don't know if he's in far enough. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't think he was in far enough on that. So now they're doing sync bonks here.
Yeah, that gave Eri just a bit time to catch up, and is now slightly in the lead.
And stealing the king's money, and Jem saves and quits. Eriror continues on. Is he checking Catfish?
I think so.
I like the
Or
play.
is he going back to Skullwoods?
I think he's doing Catfish. There's no reason you would not save and quit here if you're not going to Catfish. I like this play. He's going to try to water walk over there or do something. That was a fake flipper attempt. He's going to try it again. He gets it. Very nice fake flipper by Eriror. Not very often you get to see that strategy. Only in the Dark World, only with no flippers. You can bomb down there and get off screen with the recoil from the bomb.
Yeah, and Catfish.
Oh! He stopped to get a potion along the way.
Yeah, he had to use up his one red potion back in Thieves Town since he was down to 1 heart.
He chose magic in this case. The green goo. Delicious green Gatorade goo.
And on to Catfish.
Jem getting his pockets picked. So that monkey steals 10 rupees for you and then has the gall to demand another 100 just to open the door of this dungeon. Get out of my pocket, monkey. Now leaves Jem with a nice even 200 rupees. And Eriror annoys a fish, and a fish is going to come up and annoy him by presenting him with money. Very small amount of money. That would be annoying.
So I think we're gonna see him meet up on Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, Jem already there, and Eriror going to make his way down right now. So I like to play to get Catfish out of the way while he's going down. But I wonder if he'll check Pyramid along the way. I don't think Jem checked Pyramid yet. But so Pyramid having something would be important right now for Eriror because he's been losing some aim at the eye of Goma. Thank you. Thank you, game. Wrong game. So if he were to check the Pyramid, that would probably be a good check, but he's not checked the Pyramid. He's going straight to Palace of Darkness. He might be checking the Pyramid afterwards.
I mean, if you do Palace of Darkness, you have both red crystals, so you might intend to check the pyramid.
Oh, good thinking. And Jem wasting a bomb.
But
So just
if you wanted, he can just pick up 2 more in this exact room. So it's not that much of a problem.
just a little bit of a time loss, that if anything. Resource management, not a big deal, you're right.
Yeah, and a little bit more of a time loss just here.
We're getting some stylish. We're getting some stylish King of Samaria strats here. This is kind of funny. And he locks himself in. Round 2! Fight!
Yeah, I mean, while these strats look cool, maybe you at times just want to go with the tried and tested strats to just...
By the way, aim at the eye, Goma, again. So we're going to find a small key in this chest. I don't think I've seen anything useful in Palace of Darkness so far.
Yeah, but usually the front half and the first checks of Path of Darkness are keys, keys, and more keys, and usually the big good stuff is in the back.
So I don't know what the one chest there had, but we do know the other one had 3 bombs in it. So I'm going to assume from the fact that Jem did not check his menu, it might have had the sound of money or something like that. But the money didn't go up, so I have no idea what it was. Maybe it was a piece of heart.
Put my guess on the big key, which actually is in the inventory now.
Yeah, it's in the inventory now. That sounds right. Could be the big key.
Since it's one of the items along with the map that don't appears in the dark room. But it has to be somewhere, and if it's not in the front, it's most likely somewhere in the back.
So Ryder mirroring back to the start with his collection of palace keys.
And the dark maze did have nothing of interest.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. There was the big key, by the way. So that was not in the dark maze. I'm led to think it's a piece of heart, but we're gonna have to listen for audio to see if that is the case on Arara's side. He's gonna do dark maze first, and that may be what he ends up doing and getting out, because he did not check that side. I think he's realizing now he didn't check that side. Oops. I think he's realizing that was a mistake.
Maybe.
So he's looking for a small key here. Otherwise, he's not going to want to leave that dark maze.
I mean, he still has one to get out, and he is bound to get one back.
Yeah, right here. Nope.
Since he still has one.
So if he does leave through the key door, he's probably. I think he gets 1 or 2 down. Well, I think there's just 1 on that side. But I'm sure he did not want to give up that key, but he has no choice because he put himself in that room before doing this side, and that cost him the key. So he's gonna have to use that extra key. Now let's listen for the audio and see if this was a piece of heart like I think it was. Oh, we're gonna get to see it. We're gonna see it. Nope, $50. So we thank Eriror for the visibility of that item. Jem is going through the darkness right now on his way to the king. And what do you do when you meet the king? You take off the mask, because he's vain and doesn't want to show his face. He's trying to protect his beautiful face. You know, kings do that. But we're going to gingerly remove his mask, so he has to show us the beauty of his face, or rather the absolute disgustingness of it, as the case may be. A few short slashes should take it out, and get to use a potion just to be safe. Turned out it was needed. He took 4 hearts of damage. And he took a death! Oh, the king has won!
Yeah, like most enemies in Dark World, Eriror does 2 hearts damage on green male. So you don't really want to get hit.
That is a costly death for Jem. That could be... it's not race clinching yet, but that could be decisive.
Definitely not. Also, it cost him a potion, which he either needs to replenish or needs to play without more safety.
A comment was made in chat shortly before that fight that Jem must be feeling weird today with a couple of weird movements and that bonk in the graveyard area when he was trying to get to the King's Tomb. So he was just saying that Jem must be feeling weird today, and then that happened, and he shoots the eyeball again, because why not? So yeah, Jem must be feeling pressure today, because again, if he wins this game, he wins the championship, he wins the tournament, and normally you wouldn't say he moves on from winning the tournament, but I think we are probably gonna have a special French versus German series again, and when we do, that means that Jem would be taking part in that instead of Eriror. So there is some pressure on Jem to win this tournament today, first and foremost, and then after that, it's just having some fun.
And I mean, it is still kind of warm out there, so I don't know where they are located, but maybe also the temperature can get to them.
Yeah, it's definitely getting heated in here with all the excitement going on here in this game today. So, Gem does get back to Helmstar King as Eriror is finishing it, so he won't be too far behind. But you have to imagine with that death, he is feeling pressure right now with that extra death. Now, Eriror does have a couple checks that he was not able to complete that Gem did do. For example, the tablet, Bombos tablet, and there might be another one that he didn't do as well. So if he goes back and does those, that'll give Gem the time right back. Gem also did not do the front of escape. So we're going to see if these undone checks are going to come back to get done at some point and swing the race in someone's favor a certain way here.
Yeah, and we're still still not having any logical access to Death Mountain yet, so at this point there has to be something somewhere.
Gem refueling his health in the house. Now, you notice that the runners still only have, in Gem's case, 6 hearts. Eriror has 7. This is one of the differences with hard mode difficulty as well. There are only a total of 14 hearts in the item pool. So you're not going to be as healthy at this point as you would be in some other seeds. You might normally have 9 or 10 hearts by now. Not this one. You're working on a lot less resources. As both runners, it looks like, are doing the Pyramid Fairy right now. I do not question this play. Check the Pyramid while you're up there. That's 3 items. And you don't have to ever go back there until you're fighting Ganon, and you get there automatically that way. So, as we watch a Dark League totem, a big red package behind him, I just want to remind you to follow these runners. They are doing a good job with this race and showing, and with the entire series, providing this entertainment for you and us and everyone else to watch here on both the English and German channels, and anyone else that's broadcasting the race here today. As we do see, the pyramid item was just 20 rupees. What is inside the pyramid? We have 10 arrows and 20 more rupees. That was not really a good check.
Yeah, so I think we are down to Skull Woods having something of progression.
Gem waited for the bottomless bowl before doing the pyramid ledge check. I find that interesting. That costs a little bit of time that Eriror didn't use. So where is Eriror going now? Is he... We know it's not going to be Swamp Palace. I don't think Ice Palace either, even though he can sequence break it. So he's going to go check the Bombos medallion right now because that's weighing on the back of his mind right now. But what else can he do right now? He can... Tower of Hera is still not in logic because we still don't have the flute, we still don't have the lamp. Death Mountain, therefore, is not in logic. So there's no reason to see what's on Death Mountain yet.
Skull Woods?
Skull Woods is the only play, I believe.
I think that's the only thing we didn't see. Of course, Eri has to do the Southern Dark World checks.
Yeah, it has to be Skull Woods.
Yep.
That's the only option we have for a dungeon. So unless there's more overworld checks they can do, like hammer pegs, they can do hammer pegs in the... I don't think they've done that yet.
We're still missing our mitts, so we don't have...
Oh no, they can't do that. Yeah, that does require mitts. You're right. I was thinking blacksmith is mitts. But yeah, hammer pegs has it too. Good call.
I mean, Eri could potentially decide to fake powder here with the hammer and the mushroom, which he saved.
It is a logical sequence break, though. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Skullwoods has to have the lamp, the fruit, or the flippers, which would give us access to the unique item we know that is on the left side of Swarm.
If we get flippers, I'm going to call the hookshot is an Ice Palace. Just going to call that now.
We will see. And Gem, is he gonna take the sequence break? It looks like it.
He is sequence breaking, yes.
So this might be a gamble on being the lamp in Skullwoods, therefore that one's entirely skippable.
But if it turns out that the flute is what's in Skullwoods, well, we don't need to go to Mizumara anyway, so that would be in a sense skippable too. But it means you'd be lacking the mode of transportation. The thing is that Skullwoods is a crystal; you have to do it anyway. You might as well get it done. There must be a reason he doesn't want to do that right now. Probably because 6-Heart Mothula is difficult, and he already took a death to Helmus Arcade.
Yeah, but still, I believe Skullwoods is a pendant, and the tracker is still not.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right. It is a pendant.
And just a piece of heart on the magic pad, so that mushroom save didn't work out.
So Jem working his way through some of the Death Mountain caves here.
Eric gonna go Death Mountain as well, it looks like. Ooh.
I missed that hint, it was too quick. What was the items in?
That was a unique item needs fire and Tower of Hera.
Ah, well then. He's gonna go see what that unique item is, even though it's not logically accessible yet.
Yeah, and we at least know that at this point it shouldn't be the lamp.
Oh, it can't be the lamp. Unless the flute... Well, actually, you know what? Take that back. It can be the lamp. If the flute is the logical progression to get up here. If he finds either the flute or the lamp on Death Mountain, he knows which items need to get up here.
Yep.
There, went ahead and modified the tracker, so we should have... Oh, I have that wrong, actually.
So...
There we go. So Eriror is now working his way through Death Mountain. Both runners are doing the sequence break of Death Mountain here, so they both run out of ideas. That, or they just don't want to do Skullwoods because it is a pendant, of course. But given what we know at this point, I'm leaning towards Flippers being in Skullwoods. I'm leaning towards that being a likely scenario.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
Now, of course, they're hoping that it's the lamp leading to Death Mountain that they have to find the Flippers up here. That would be a much better scenario for them because they get some other items while they're up here. So we're going to find out what the correct play is as soon as we know where those Flippers are. If we don't find them up here, they're probably in Skullwoods. And I think that those Flippers are the thing that's going to unlock the seed here.
Yeah, not really, but it's at least opening up the item in Swamp, which could open up.
We found Blue Mail, by the way, and Jem is doing the coffee break. Eriror is not doing the coffee break.
He needs the key first, otherwise he has no chance to.
Mm-hmm.
But Jem, knowing that the unique item is down here, and it is the second item in the Pendant Hera, as soon as he found the key, he just instantly went for the coffee break.
Eriror is obviously hoping it's upstairs. We know it's not upstairs because A, we had the hint, and B, Jem just showed us what it is. So, unique item is in the sewers. Thanks, game.
Was probably our boots in.
Yeah, either the boots or the Book of Medora or the fire rod. We had 3 unique items. Thanks, game. But yeah, the game is guaranteed to have a boost hint. You're probably absolutely right. That was the boost hint.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but at this point quite likely with the amount of somewhat useful hints we have seen. Oh, and we might finally get a front of escape check from Gem here.
This is going to be time that Eriror has already invested, that he's now going to get back while Gem does the Dark Cross check first. Maybe not the front of escape, but maybe we'll do that too. So Eriror, we're going to find his Bombo statue. He'll be happy he does not have to do Moldorm, because he already did the pedestal check. He knows he can skip Moldorm now.
And Eri is gonna go further into the mountain.
He has the hammer, why not?
I mean, it is still sequence breaking.
It looked like he was going to do a Turtle Rock check and then realized, wait a minute, I have all the coins. I don't need to check that. So he's not going to waste time on that.
I think that was more a floating island check.
Oh yeah, you might be right, actually. I didn't even catch what was there.
I didn't either, but I think it wasn't really something of notice.
If it was, I'm sure chat will tell us. But in any case, we're through Spiral Cave, and we like to call that the Walk of Shame, but it was a run of joy today. So just a piece of heart at the bottom of that today.
And back on the mountain, gonna follow Eri.
Lips sealed, I'm being told in chat. Thanks, chat.
What? We have another chance to look at it, I'm sure, since Gem will check that in a few seconds.
So bombs and a red boomerang, and was that a shield?
That was a heart piece.
That was a heart piece, okay. So what is going on in the 5 chests here? We have our nice KFC bag of herbs and spices. That's a 20 rupee, likely red mail at this point, or the mirror shield. And there's our flute. Lamp is required to get up here.
Yeah, but that flute also out of logic, and it seems like we have the lamp in Skullwoods.
It seems like it now, yes.
But it's still possible for the flippers to be there, and the lamp is our item on left side swamp.
It can be.
Who knows?
Or both could be in Skull Woods.
That's true. I mean, that flute actually doesn't open up anything right now.
No, unless there's something in Misery Mire, there's no reason to need that flute except for transportation.
And even if there is something in Misery Maya, we can't get there since we still don't have those myths.
Exactly. I didn't say that was a 20 or a 50. That was a 50.
That was a 50.
So. Now, we don't know whether that 20 that we saw in Paradox Cave, if that was the red mail or if that was the mirror shield, because Eriror does have both the blue mail and the fire shield at this point. So that was one of those two items, we just don't know which one.
And since Gem has the same equipment, we probably have no way to find out.
No, because there's no spoiler generator either, so we can't even look at that.
So it seems like both are gonna go towards that Scout's play. Of course, Eri activating that flute.
Yeah, I was trying to give time for the flute music to play there, but the duck is amok for Eriror. Swag Duck Airline is now open for business. Call 555-DUCK for all your transportation needs. Note, only valid in Hyrule, not valid in Nebraska or anywhere in the contiguous United States. Please do not call.
And Gem, having found that powder, is gonna do that magic bat check and also gets his heart piece. He takes full magic on his way to Skullwoods. Very needed.
Ah, I hate those tongue enemies. I keep forgetting what the name of them is, but they like to steal your items. I've actually seen it steal a shield from me before.
Yeah, some runners, and there are
Look at
flippers.
that! Just as I called, flippers. Very first chest in Skullwoods.
So, now you have Hobo, which I don't know if any of those runners actually did check, which could have something.
No, neither did.
Or you have Swamp Palace.
Picket, I knew that name. That was what I thought it was, just didn't want to say because I didn't think that was it.
So Swamp, if Hobo has nothing, has.
Hey, we're getting that hobo
to
check.
something.
We're getting that hobo check right now, and there's just a piece of heart. So that was a bit of a healthy trip because he got an extra heart container out of it.
And is Gem continuing at Skullwoods? Nope.
Yeah, if he sees the flippers, he's like, okay, writing's on the wall, I get it.
Yeah, but there's still one item left in Skullwoods.
And both riders abandoned it. This could be interesting. I think at this point they're gambling with the fact that all they're looking for is the hookshot, and they think that the hookshot will not be the second item in Skullwoods. So if the only way this will bite either runner, in this case both runners, is if that second item in Skullwoods is the hookshot. However, as you suggested, the lamp is likely in Skullwoods as well, because you had to get to Death Mountain somehow. So if that is the case, the hookshot is definitely somewhere else. So the only way we'll know the hookshot could be in Skullwoods is if the lamp turns out here in Swamp Palace or in Ice Palace.
Yeah, but if actually there's only the unique item on left side Swamp here in Skullwoods, that shouldn't be the lamp, since that was pretty much locked out of everything else except that second item in Skullwoods.
You are right, actually. That could be leading the runners to check here instead of finishing Skullwoods. So that could be part of the reasoning behind that as well. Now, we knew that just had to be a key. In fact, there's no way it cannot be a key because you can't get in that door without it. So we're going to grab our key and go in. And we know that this chest is the only one accessible by the hammer, which means the rest of the dungeon is hammer locked. And this chest has either our red mail or our mirror shield. So we now know where both of those are. We just don't know which is which.
Exactly.
Gem finding that as well.
Yeah, and actually chat is saying something right. We can pretty much pinpoint the location of the lamp by now, since we know the flute is locked behind that lamp.
Yes.
Logic-wise. So the lamp can't be in Misery Mire. It can't be somewhere in Church Rock or on the mountain.
No.
So if it's not here in Swamp and locked behind the soon-to-be-found hookshot, it's most likely is somewhere in Ice.
There are 3 locations, and it's either the second item in Skullwoods, it's anywhere here in Swamp among the 6 unique items in Swamp, or as you said, it could be somewhere in Ice, one of those 3 items.
Yeah. I mean, how the seat is going, the most likely item to be that unique on the left side, which is the only unique item in the front, is gonna be the mids. Since that.
Oh yeah, we still need the mids.
They will blow up the seat wide open.
I completely forgot they still need the Titans mid. Yeah, that's at this point usually they have both mids by now. This is unusual to not have both mids. So let's see what we have. Well, actually, no, we're not going to see anything right now because we're just flooding the chamber after getting the key. You never. Let's just put it this way: no one ever floods the key in that chamber.
Yeah. I mean, without the hookshot, you can't. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
one good point of it.
That is one good thing.
But yeah, it never happens otherwise, right?
No, it never happens. No one's ever done that.
So, the one big question without the hookshot, left or right?
Yes. I checked both at this point. Both items should be here.
Well, we had the hint. We know there's one unique
Oh
item.
yeah, there is
and
one,
it's
and
the
there it
myth.
is. Yeah, that's a good point. So it is the mitts. That is a. No, I was gonna say almost vanilla, but that's normally Thieves Town. No, it's not Thieves Town. Gloves
The
are
myth?
normally in Palace of Darkness, I believe. No, where are the gloves
Oh,
normally? Vanilla.
they are indeed in Thieves Town.
I was right the first time. Okay, I should
Yep.
stop guessing myself. I thought it was blue mail, but maybe not. That's Ice Palace. Okay, figured it out. Anyway, while I figure out what vanilla items are in vanilla dungeons, we're gonna have Eriror on the way to Ice Palace now that he has Titan's Mist. He's gonna clear that out now. He has decided not to finish the Argus fight, which he can't do anyway, and he's going to see if the hookshot is here as he finds out a piece of hearts in Lion's Hideout.
Yeah, and now that both have the myths, we actually see diversion. Since Eri took the myths straight to Ice Palace, we are likely gonna see an East Darkness Mountain with a possible Turtle Rock play from Jen.
I'm actually curious why Gem's going up here first.
I mean, hookshot on Laser Bridge is not that uncommon either, so it is a play to do.
It's also not very savory, but I have a feeling it's here at Ice Palace because the flippers were a late find, and it just leads me to think logically they're here. But there's our bug catching net, so that's one of our 3 items already retired.
I mean, the hookshot also can be necessary to complete Ice Palace, so you might not be able to find it here.
I wonder if it can be in the other 2 chests. Like the first chest, it can be, but can it be in the other ones?
I think it can definitely be in that one freezer chest with 2 freezers.
I did. Oh, go ahead.
And from there on out, it gets a bit more unknown territory for me. I think it is possible for it to be an iced tea room.
Oh, he's checking Hookshot Cave Gem is.
Yeah.
That is a heart container. That's going to get him up to 9 hearts. He realizes he doesn't have the hookshot, so he can't continue.
Yeah, but I have pulled out some hookshot out of that bonk chest already, so you never know.
Super Bunny Cave. There's 10 bombs. That's our 10 bomb prize pack. That can be our starter item. That can be a starter item in standard mode. Here it's just in the item pool. Eriror having a harder time with the freezer, with the pen gator room. Now, I was going to say earlier, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I did say earlier, if the flippers are in Skull Woods, my gamble would be hookshot in Ice Palace. This could be coming true right now, so we're going to find out as Eriror falls down. He's going to get to the freezer chest next. No, he's not. He's still. I lied. Sorry.
And I don't know if you actually read that hint, but Jen just put our seed back into logic, and we now know what the second item in Skull Woods is.
Which hint are you talking about?
The one in Turtle Rock said the lamp is in Skull Woods.
Nice. So Jem taking the longer way because he does not have the hook shot. So he cannot create instant death for himself, and has to do it the longer way. He does get off the ledge safely. I have somehow pushed up on that ledge trying to get off it before. That is not something you want to do. That forces you to redo the whole thing. There's our bacon blade for Jem and the big key.
So I didn't pay attention to the key layout here in Ice yet, but I think with just hookshot missing, what Eriror is doing might actually be out or might not actually be able to have the hookshot. So.
Well, I don't know if this is considered to need invincibility or if it's expected to have the hook shot. I'm not sure, but either way, that was our third key because he now has 3 keys. He just used one of them to get me, so he has 2 left. And that was a very weird movement he did. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. It is not easy.
I am sure.
Really have to hit it right at the right time. I
Nice
never
bomb
did it
jump.
myself, but it's a kind of neat way to do those stairs. It saves you the littlest amount of time, but it does save time if you get it.
Nice bomb jump by Eriror. He's going to most likely go on and continue and complete Colster after checking this room. There's our big key.
Yes, I think the hookshot could still be in the big chest.
I think it can be, but I don't think it can be on Colster itself, can it?
I don't think so. That depends on the small keys. But I think it can be.
I am surprised he is not going down to check the big chest. Oh, he is checking the big chest. Okay,
He has no hookshot, so he actually has to do the room.
He had to. Oh, it is an item on Cold Stare, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's not the hookshot. I think.
That means Gem could very likely be coming upon it right now. Because we now know it's not in Skull Woods. And Eriror could end up going back to Skull Woods. So if he goes to Turtle Rock, he'll be happy he didn't go back to Skull Woods because he'll get that hit.
I'm not sure if he actually does go back to Skullwoods, since he should be able to pinpoint that lamp onto Skullwoods.
Yeah, he should be. I think you're right. He should be able to pinpoint that by now. He's done everything else. So either this is the hookshot or it's in Turtle Rock.
Well, it could be in Misery Maya. We have the boots to get in.
Oh yeah, that is true. We have the flipper too. We have the flute too. $20 there. So you were right. It was not on Cold Stare. And we knew it was money in we knew some cash was in a cave. Gem just habitually checked it anyway and got $300.
Yeah, I wonder if he just didn't get the hint or maybe forgot about it.
Oh, I'm sure he forgot about it. It's been an hour in. I'm not surprised he forgot. That was our last sword.
Yeah. We know that since we found both Red Mail and the Mirror Shield before we found the third sword.
So if you came here with only the fighter sword, you would leave with a bacon blade no matter what.
Yep. And Eri is doing the play to the Maya area. Didn't catch that medallion.
This could be the race right here, and if Gem finds it first, potentially the tournament. Because if the hookshot is here, Eriror will be able to go mode right through Turtle Rock. Now, he won't be able to completely go mode because he's going to have to obviously find the keys, but he'll be able to skip some chests on Laser Bridge, for example, and possibly, because the big key is found earlier, he can gamble to skip the lava chest as well.
Checkerboard Cave.
So, this could be the hookshot right here for Gem. Probably in the last chest, but let's see if he finds it in any of the chests. That's what's more important here. There's our key. We can finish Trinex now. And there's $20. I think... Was that all the unique items? Or is there one more? He's taking ahead.
One more.
That beetle decided to push him off, and I think he wants to get rid of it before I'm moving on because he's getting annoyed by that thing. Out of the way, beetle. Thank you. So now we're going to move in, and that is a compass. Eriror might be in the right place. Unless Gem finds it on Trinex.
I wanted to say that just now. Trinex might be the last chance for him here. Because we are running out of locations where it can be.
Yes, we are. It's not in ice. It's not in skull. It's not in swamp. Unless it's no, actually no, we can't finish it without it. So yeah, it's not on Moldorf because we saw both the items tower here. It has to be in Misery Mire or on Trinex, or it's an overworld check that we have not checked. It could be on Dwarf. It could like Lumberjack. It could be on or not Lumberjack, Dwarf. It could be on Hammer Pegs. It could be an overworld location too. So we are running out of dungeon locations.
I think we are out of overworld locations as well, aside from Dwarf and Hammer Pegs.
You're right. I think so. So, Gem finishes off Trinex. Will this be the hookshot? Will this put Gem into go mode for this entire tournament? No!
And Eri found the big key in Misery Mire.
And all attention shifts to Eriror now as we have to see whether the hookshot is in Misery Mire. Did he make the right play going to a pendant dungeon to look for this hookshot? We may find out right now. Not that one. That's hard. Now we know that I think we said there is a unique item over here, right? Did we get a hint for this, or was that just for Swamp?
That was for Swamp. We
didn't get one for Mire. Okay, so we have no idea what the other chest is, but we already have the big key. I think we still have another unique item that we have not found yet. That was the first one. So we have one more. And while Eriror is sitting at the dance here waiting for a wall to move, Gem is going to go and completely clean out Ice Palace just like Eriror did. So Eriror is potentially gaining time right now if it's not in the overworld. If it is in the overworld, Eriror will probably do that before Gem does. So at this point, this is looking like Eriror's race to catch up on. Something requires King of Samaria. There's some cash requires the King of Samaria. Thanks, game. That was probably Turtle Rock hint. So that was not the chest.
So 3 more?
2 or 3. I think it is. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, Vitreous is 3. You're right. 2 more chests, and then we're going to Vitreous if we
have the big key. We have the big chest and the one on the right side. Still.
That's a key. Yep, we got the big chest. So Gem getting his underwater hit. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, okay. That's a key.
1 more in this room.
So we were miscounting. That's a piece of heart. We're out of unique items. It's the overworld. It is either, at this point, for me, it's either on Dwarf or on Hammer Pegs or Magic Bat.
No, chat is bringing up a point. We did see Magic Bat, but we have little friend, or rather an old friend, which has a closet which we normally rob.
Comment in chat about the lunchbox. Gary's lunch will not be getting returned. It was not an important item, so it's not there. I think it was cash or a piece of art or something.
So Eri leaving Misery Mire might actually come back and bite him pretty hard.
Oh, this is going to come back to bite him, yes. He's going to be able to clear Trinex, so at least it's not completely wasted, but just like Gem, he's going to have to do that mountain climb again. If the overworld would have been quicker to check, I think he should have checked the overworld locations first at this point. If you're going to gamble on the pendant dungeon, you might as well gamble on the overworld. He's going right over to Turtle Rock, and at this point, Gem is poised to find that hookshot first.
Probably.
But Gem could go to Misery Mire first as well, so it depends on how quickly Eriror completes Turtle Rock. If he can do it really quickly, they could both be coming upon around the same time, and at that point, we could have a race.
It depends, right, I think. If it actually is on this list that Gem decides to go for the green pendant first, Eri might be able to get back into this, but
yeah, it's a bit. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. We never checked the green pendant. That is the green pendant. We could have it on Sahasrarella. Boy, would that be awful. He is going to Meyer. Maybe he is going to think about that green pendant.
well, first he's gonna do Meyer Shed, which we know has a bottle guaranteed and had nothing else. There was a hint for that.
I'm not sure why Jem checked the medallion to get inside. He has all three. He didn't need to check that.
I think
so
at this point it's just muscle memory to check it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So we know Super Ready Cave is not it. That's our 10 bomb prize pack at $300. So we're gonna see Jem finding that Checkerboard Cave is not the answer.
And then is the decision time for Jem. And he looks like he goes back to Meyer.
Yep, we had a prediction that he might not do this, but in chat, but now it looks like he is going to do this. Doesn't want to come back here. Only wants to visit the miserable place once, I guess. Eriror is doing Turtle Rock. He is going to get that hit, and he's going to be happy that he deduced that correctly. That it was not in Skull Woods. I think I saw him do a sword slash with the intel as well, and a few anger ones along the bridge.
So, if the hookshot is on the green pendant, this is Jem's race to lose. If the hookshot is on the Smith or on Hammer Pack, Eri actually has a chance to get back into this, since I think he will check that one before going for the green pendant.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the green pendant at this point. I know we kind of made this kind of prediction already with a couple other locations, but they didn't pan out, so we're starting to figure out what else there can be, and we're running out. Eriror realizing he doesn't have the hook shot, he can't do that, so gets his fire rod out and torches the lamps, and Jem gets his first chest. Is going to go to the bridge right now. Eriror getting his bacon blade and his big key. Now that's another small. It's a very insignificant time save in a certain way, but depending on how long you have it, it can be significant. Having the bacon blade compared to the Master Sword, Eriror still had the Master Sword up to that point. Jem's had the Tempered for a little while now, so the more time that one runner has it, the other one doesn't, that does add up. But otherwise, it can be seen as an insignificant upgrade in some ways, depending on the route both runners take.
Yeah, and in this particular seat, I didn't think it made any sort of time difference, really.
Not really. I mean, on the cold stare fight, maybe, because it meant a lot more slashes at the eyes. But other than that, not really.
Yeah, okay. With that cold stare fight, actually, yeah, it did do a little bit of time save, but that's about it.
And now Jem will wait for a wall to move, and of course we question the logic of how a wall is moved by lighting torches. At which point an old man will probably tell me, "Don't question Nintendo logic!" Did you hear something? So Jem is going to make his way through the doorway and through the warp tile, and now he's going to make his way over to where the second unique item of the Piece of Heart, I believe it was, is located.
Yep.
But not before checking the other chest getting to it. Like this key. And the big chest, I think, had another key. Now, the potential play of the race, will he check the green pendant? We have about a minute to find out. There is Eriror's what would be gold sword. Jem barely making it onto the bridge there, gets his key. And there's the piece of heart, and he continues. He is going to check the green pendant. If the green pendant does not have the hook shot, this is going to tighten up very quickly around the dwarf and around the hammer pegs.
Indeed.
If it is on Sahasrara, this is the tournament right here.
Probably, though there is still GT left, which can...
I don't forecast either of these runners having a problem with Gans Tower, to be honest.
Maybe not problems, but routing can make a difference. And who knows,
True,
if Eri
true.
is feeling really behind, he might actually do some rather unusual gambles. Let's call them that.
Let's see if Eriror should finish Turtle Rock. He knows the hookshot is not anywhere else in Turtle Rock. He is going to finish it, get the boss kill, because he does have everything to kill the boss. Jem is going to do this dark room to get to the bottom of Mizumara right now. We're going to have pretty much synced up boss fights here. Eriror is about to cross the bridge into the final room. Jem is going to cross into Vitreous's room. This is the final room for him. Eriror is going to enter Trinex at 1:26:32. Jem 2 seconds behind to Vitreous. Sync boss fights, ladies and gentlemen. Jem taking out the eyeballs. Eriror using the ice and fire rods on the heads. They go down. Second head is now going down. The eyeballs are down for Jem. The eye is going to dislodge before the turtle comes out of the shell. So Jem is going to complete his boss fight. And that is that at 1:26:54. Eriror's turtle emerges. And down at 1:26:59. So we're going to have 5 seconds apart on these. Jem's going to be transporting that green pen to Sahasrara. If that is our hook shot, this race is probably over.
If not, Eri might have a little lead here, since he will be probably faster on that Smith J.
Now again, even though I say this race could probably be over, of course we can't say that for sure. There could be execution errors. Jem could take a fall somewhere in Gans Tower with some uncharacteristic play. We've seen a few uncharacteristic moves from him today, so it could happen. So we'll see what happens here. Eriror is heading over to the village. He's going to go to the Dark Road. He's going to the Dwarf. This could be the race right here for Jem. Is this the hook shot? Is this go mode? No, it is $5. We still have an open world hook shot at large.
Oh boy.
And we're down to 2 locations that I can think of it to be, and it is either on the Dwarf, which Eriror is ahead, picking up Jeremiah right now. Eriror is now in the lead, in my opinion.
Is Jem gonna get in that pet check first?
We'll find out. That would put him a little further behind, but Eriror already did this, so it's just time he's giving back.
Oh.
He is doing the pet check. And getting bumped by the thief on the way, so he'll leave a little bit behind for him to pick up so he can get through. So here's our little piece of love check. Master Heart Piece. Hammer pegs. If it's not this, it's probably the Dwarf. We know it's not the purple chest. It is 10 arrows. Mr. Dwarf, would you like to craft a hook shot for me, please? You could really use that hook shot right now.
Yeah. Would be kinda nice.
Now, if it's not here, is there anything else it could be? But I think it has to be here.
It has to be.
There it is! Yeah, we had nothing else. That was the last location right there. So, hook shot on the Dwarf today, and we didn't get him until 1 hour, 29 minutes. So, you have to imagine Eriror feels like he's behind at this point. He's probably looking for a dot done right now because he thinks Jem might have picked that up earlier. And Jem probably is thinking the same thing for Eriror right now, too, that he might have picked up this hook shot earlier. So both runners are going to be nervous going through Gans Tower and Ganon himself trying to finish this race. But Eriror has a slight edge right now with that hook shot, heading back down to Swamp Palace. He's going over to Argus. He's finishing that up, and then he can go right to Gans Tower.
Yeah, as Gem is going for the hammer packs first and gets the message. Nope, it is
Yep.
indeed the Smith.
He is not doing the hammer pegs first.
He already did.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Yes,
there
sorry.
it is.
Okay, I didn't think he... Yeah, I didn't see it. Okay. So there's Gem's hook shot. He is now in go mode. 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds. Both runners are in go mode. It is a race to the finish. Buckle up, everyone. Eriror is slightly ahead, but anything can happen here. And if Eriror gets this win, we're going to have a 1-1 series, and we will have a Game 3, which, by the way, is in a couple days from now on Friday.
So going instantly to the back, not checking any more chests here in Swamp. Or maybe that one waterfall chest actually, since we are still missing silvers.
Yeah, I'm sure they want silver arrows, but given that they've checked pretty much everything, I doubt either runner is going to go looking heavily for those, because it's probably an out-of-the-way location independent dungeon somewhere at this point.
Yeah, you're gonna most likely check this one chest here.
You will.
There.
Yeah, that's a big key. You're not going to go back to the big chest, though.
Yeah, speaking of that, we actually have a game to play, right?
Well, not yet. We're not going to rush that. We're not there yet. But for those of you wondering what that game might be, now that you've heard the word game and your ears might have perked up, we are going to be playing a game momentarily to give you a chance to subscribe or donate 250 bits or more to the channel if you have not already done so at some point, and you will be able to participate in this game in just a moment. We're going to work the boss fight right now. Argus is now being fought. The eyes are being pulled off and executed in very grim fashion, very quickly by Eriror. And Argus comes down, and some fire rod shots, and that's pretty much the fight. So now that we have a 7th crystal dropping from the sky right now, ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in chat for our big key guessing game, Gannis Tower big key guessing game. We have 22 chests in Gannis Tower. Pick a number from 1 to 22, and we're going to find out together where that big key is located. And Raylan Tinker, where do you think that big key is today?
I have a number I always go with, and that is the 3, since there's one gamble I want to see be successful at some point in a race, and...
You're thinking Tower Room.
I'm thinking Tile Room.
We already have a 22 in chat. We also have a 477. I don't know where that came from. We don't have that many chests in the game, so you may want to try another guess. For me, it's always 11 because, well, always. And for me, 11 is usually random room, but I've seen so many routes lately, I don't know where it's going to end up anyway.
Yeah, I mean, my 3 has also a bit more backstory behind it related to the German tournament and one of the leaders on the guessing game, but yeah.
Speaking of which, I know the leader numbers actually do come into the main channel for those as well now, so you'll get to see who those leaders are for the German tournament. I think we have several in the double digit.
Yeah, I think after the last game we had tight leaders. And I believe 13 wins or something like that.
I thought I saw an 18 or 17 or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe it is 13. We'll see in a moment when we finish the game. We will speculate on that. Let's worry about what we're seeing now, which is a Lionel being pushed aside by a blade of bacon. You know, Lionels love bacon. And Eriror now opening Gannis Tower. Gem on his way up the mountain right now, having cleared Swamp Palace. You can, again, as I said earlier, you can guarantee Eriror is thinking he is way behind. He's panicking right now because he thinks Gem already has the hook shot. He's watching for it not done, but he is in the lead. He doesn't know it right now. We have to stop our game, so good luck everyone playing the game.
So, hold room first. Number 1. And number 2. Small
so, 2 down, 20 to go. Will we see your Tower Room gamble today? No, we will not. We are seeing right side as well. So my 11 will likely end up in the Southwest room at this point. The last chest in the Southwest room.
Yeah. Also, my guess now gonna be the first room in the upcoming.
Yeah, the first chest here.
Which is an okay backup.
I've seen it here before. I've seen it in the Southwest room too. So this is your guess right now. Not it. Some bombs. This could be it. Nope. 5 is rupees. Number 6 is 300 bucks. It is left side or back of the base.
So that's most likely one of our leaderboard leaders out of the way, since he is prone to picking the 4.
Yeah, he doesn't need any more wins. So Bob gets healed today with the purchase of that small key from the torch, or the bonking rather. So I go on the perspective that Bob is not killed; he is actually healed.
Interesting.
I like to think of Bob being killed.
Oh, Gem also doing Hope Room first.
So there's number 8. 9 is some red goo. That's going to be useful, actually. Number 10 is 20 bucks. And number 11, I unfortunately lose because this is where 11 was today. But we'll see if it is in random room like I usually would think it would be.
Gem is gonna save some time for now, not doing full right.
So finding bombs in location number 12. So I'm going to keep focused on Eriror because he's ahead in the big key hunt here. They're focusing on the... Gem didn't do full right, did he?
Nope, he just did Hope Room and mirrored
Okay.
over.
Nice. So that's... for him, this is 4 out of 7. But we're going by Eriror's count because he entered first. This is 13 right now. There it is! I lost anyway. So, if you guessed lucky number 13, ladies and gentlemen, you are the winner of the Big Key Guessing Game. Let's see who our winner is today. Our winner is our closest guess. No one guessed 13 because, you know, it's such a lucky number. But our closest guess today was a 12 from Big Dunka. Just slipped in ahead of me with my 11 there. So, congratulations, Big Dunka. You are the winner of the Big Key Guessing Game. And Raylan Tank, do you want to tell me what the prize is today?
I have no idea, but it's probably not very nice.
I thought you had a prize.
Nope, that's usually one of the German ones. Only since it doesn't work on the English language for myself, so...
Well, I guess I'll have to come up... I guess I'll come up with my own prize. A trip to the Troll Rock Hot Springs Resort, guaranteed to burn you alive. Please enjoy.
Sounds like a fun ride.
Yeah. The hot springs, they burn you up, guaranteed.
Gem actually getting a fairy drop here, very nice for refill.
So Eriror is now going through the gauntlet, otherwise known as the toughest series rooms in the game, which you wouldn't know that from the way Eriror is going through it, but he's down to 4.5 hearts. This could get dangerous. Those BMOs, if you're walking slow on that ice, which you often are, those BMOs will snipe you. So those boots are very helpful in those ice rooms. We are now on Land Molus 2. Why Land Molus 2? Because it's better than Land Molus 1. So, unfortunately, they die the same way. We just have a statue taking pot shots at you from the corner of the room because, just, you know, to insult you. Eriror taking a small magic refill heading upstairs. Gem is now going through the gauntlet himself. Now again, anything can happen here. An untimely death here from either runner, and that's pretty much the race. In Eriror's case, it could be the tournament.
And there's actually our good friend Trollong just waiting up for us to maybe throw this race over once again.
And by the way, you were right. It was 13 wins. Old Dammy and 10 Weirfire ID. I can't read that properly. I assume that's how it was said. And then 10 wins, there was another person there.
Gem actually waiting a bit before entering this room to sync up the Moldom spawns to get a spin on all 3. kinda nice strat, but unfortunately missing the fire rod shots afterward, so...
Yeah, he's gonna have to wait for that torch down. That's gonna cost him some time. This is not time that he can afford to give up right now. But he's gonna get through. He's gonna need that magic refill. Absolutely gonna need this magic refill right now. Gets it, and heads upstairs. Gonna light these 4 torches. Miss a shot. But he still has plenty of magic to get through there. That's fine.
Also, there's another magic refill coming up.
He's gonna look for the silvers right here. He does not find them. He's gonna probably check the next chest as well, since he's looking for the silvers. Can they be in this chest right here, or will they be Moldarm's last possession? That's a map.
Not here.
So now we have Moldarm 2. He can still decide the race, given how close this is, by knocking Eriror off a couple times. But he does not do so. He could knock Gem off a couple times for all we know. We'll see when Gem gets there. But is this going to be our silver arrows? No, we're going to have silverless cannon, ladies and gentlemen.
And we actually don't have much places where those silvers actually could be.
Well, Ganon will tell us what dungeon it's in, or if it's an overworld location somewhere.
I don't think we have anything on the overworld left.
Well, there might be the odd 1 or 2 things that we're not thinking about, but other than that, you're probably right. There's not much left that hasn't been checked. My guess is it's probably in what's left over.
I think hookshot.
There's not much left over.
And GT
hookshot cave, yeah.
And I think 2 chests in Swamp we didn't see.
Yeah, I'm thinking Argus could have had it too. I was going to say Swamp. So, no, wait, we killed Argus. No, we need Argus. Yeah, it wasn't.
There were 2 chests in Swamp we never checked. So.
Yeah, could be the big chest, but we'll find out from Ganon either way, wherever it is. Eriror does complete the Aghanim fight. Gem is doing that right now. That looked like a nice double on Aghanim. And we're going to... Didn't track Eriror since we were talking about where the silvers could be. That's another double for Gem. Eriror going to fall into the cuckoo-shaped hole here. Yes, it looks like a cuckoo to me. Don't judge me. What is Ganon going to say to us today as Gem gets through Aghanim? I'm your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former enemy. What does that make us, you ask? Enemies. Enemies.
Okay.
Enemies is the always answer. So Eriror in a nice position, getting some shots on Ganon from behind him. Sight from behind, always way to do a hook shot, using the invincibility frames of the hook shot to not get hit by the fire bat shots. And we're done phase 2. Phase 1, phase 2 done just like that. Ganon is a little warpy today, but Gem is going to also get this warpy Ganon. So both runners are seeded for the same Ganon fight. If one of them falls, then they're going to be on different seedings. Or if both of them fall, they're still going to be on different seedings. This is a warpy Ganon. Ganon, sit still, please.
Yeah, and that must be very, very annoying for those runners since there wasn't a dot done yet, so they're probably on the last of their nerves.
Eriror knows that Gem has to do the same thing, so if Gem is still doing this, he knows that Gem is doing this with him. Unless he took a fall himself. So, but in any case, Eriror does get through that. Gem's going to find the warpiness right now, and as you said, this will be a little mildly amusing and annoying. Nice shot there, but didn't get the hit on Ganon, didn't get down far enough. Actually, it's a silverless, so it doesn't matter. We're going to be trying to get 2 or 3 hits per torch. He did get the torch glitch, which really does help in silverless Ganon, so that is a huge help for him. Gem is going to need to get torch glitch to keep any kind of pace here, but Eriror is ahead, unless he takes the fall into the pit. I doubt he's going to lose those 5 hearts. Of course, I'm going to curse that now. So unless Eriror takes the fall into the pit, this is his race to lose.
And he is pretty close to the end by now.
He's down to the final 6 hits, I believe, or so. Nope, that was even quicker. That is the race. So we are going to have a GG from Eriror. Get your GGs in chat, everyone. As Eriror evens the series, we are going to a game 3 on Friday afternoon, Friday evening German time. So stay tuned on Friday as Eriror clocks in a dot done. And his dot done was a 144.39. And they're probably going to interview on the German channel first, so we're going to have to talk here for a little while longer while we wait for them. But we're going to follow Jem right now on his finish. Shouldn't take him more than a minute more to finish here. Actually, there's the final hit right now. So Jem is going to also be dot-dutting. We'll have his time as soon as he crosses. And there it is. Dot-done with an official throw time of 1:45.16. Get your GGs in chat once again for Jem as well. Whee!
Yeah, what a seed.
What a race. That came... Like, if that had come down to something like Sahasrarala, like we thought it might, that would have been a little more anticlimactic. But the fact that it did come down to both runners coming to the same overworld location at the same time for it, and both last locationing it, that made a really exciting race at the end. It would have been a little anticlimactic if it was anywhere else.
Yeah, it sure wouldn't be as close as this one got. I
Indeed.
mean, there was still a bit potential to GT routing matter since Jem actually did save a little bit of time over Eri doing not full, right?
Yeah, that's one of those things that, as you mentioned, that can save some time if you're in a really close race. If you both enter gas tower at the same time and one of you goes left, one of you goes right, the big key is on the right side. Whoever finds on the right side is going to be most likely to win the race and go by a couple minutes at that point, possibly. But if it's on left, then you're probably about a minute behind. So something like that can definitely make a huge, huge difference. And but in this case, Jem did go left, and he made up a little bit of time. But Eriror had too big of a lead to overcome at that point, and managed to stay in front through Ganon's tower, and he pulled out the win. And Eriror did do some routing that Jem did not do very early in the seed as well. Jem did eventually go back and do with those one or two locations as well, such as the escape, which Eriror did before going to, I believe, to the Eastern Palace area to get his mirror, whatever else was over there. I think. Oh no, it wasn't that one. It was a different one at that point. It was something else. But in any case, Eriror did do the back escape, for example, first. Jem did the thing that Eriror then did next, whatever that was, I can't remember now because it's been an hour and 45 minutes. And things like that where Eriror did lose time, Jem eventually gave some of that time back, especially with that death in Palace of Darkness. If you think of it this way, that death in Palace of Darkness, you could probably say cost Jem the race.
Yeah, or that go for the green pendant might have cost him.
That could have been costing the race too. Yeah, that could have cost him the race too, right there. If he didn't do the green pendant, he gets the time back.
There are those small decisions in the end that are for one-off checks that do cost a lot of time. Sometimes they just get ya.
So I'm going to see if I can quickly pop over the German channel and make sure that they know that, just let them know that where we are over here when they're ready to interview over here. I'm going to check that quickly.
Well, I mean, they are asking for interview invites.
Of course.
Yeah. There's some trouble behind the scenes, but...
Yeah, I think we were having a problem with our behind-the-scenes things today. You're absolutely right. That's another reason I want to make sure that they get the invite over to here, because this one I think we have to do manually anyway.
Yeah, so we're gonna wait and see if we can manage to get them in here for now. I mean, it's not that the seat has anything to talk about. I mean, those silvers. I didn't read what the hint was, so I have to rely on chat, but I thought I saw one mentioning it was in the Dark World, which should mean Hookshot Cave. Since I don't think we skipped anything else. But yeah. What was in the seat? Everything. I mean, those mids in left side swamp pretty much locked us out of the last I think, half an hour, 45 minutes or so for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then it opened up to be a hunt for the hookshot. And we did some divergence on those routings for that, and in the end, it didn't really matter anyway, since both of them last located it, more or less.
Indeed. And I'm just going to, while we're idling here, I'm going to go ahead and review some of what they're saying in the SRL channel here. Again, we're going to talk about this anyway, but there were some comments, like Ryer made a comment in the channel, imagine dipping Skull Woods early. Yeah, that was where the flippers were, and that would have been a huge advantage for someone if they did that. Neither runner got the lamp that was asked. They both got the hint later on that they didn't need it. Eriror did say, and both runners did this, they both last location hammer. Someone talking about, Jeb saying he go-moded Ice Palace, saying go-moded in quotes. Eriror noting he full cleared it. So things like that, just these little things that can gain or save time as applicable. They had a long discussion in the SRL channel. I'm not going to read everything they said in the channel, obviously, but these are just little bits and pieces. We'll talk to them a little bit more about the about what happened in this race when they get over here. They are still interviewing on the German channel, so we aren't going to rush them because it is a German tournament. They are going to do the interviews over there first. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
And I noticed that's our tracker. I actually just put the tracker and commentary and runner links, all the links in the chat for everyone involved with the race today. Make sure you follow the runners. For those watching on YouTube, by the way, it's twitch.tv/gem041 and twitch.tv/Eriror, as you see on screen, and then PS, Paul Sam. So Eriror PS. That's how you can find each of their Twitch channels if you want to follow the runners and thank the runners for the wonderful race they put on here today. It sure did come down to the wire. And you can also hang out with the runners and wish them luck coming up on the Friday race if you happen to be seeing this before the race on Friday, which is on June 28th. That race, by the way, for anyone watching right now, still here, that will be at 7:30 on Friday evening German time, 1:30 Eastern time for those here on Speed Gaming Prime channel. So if you're watching on the German channel, if you're watching in Germany, it'll be 7:30 in that time zone. For those in the UK, 6:30 in Great Britain time, I believe that is. And anywhere else, check your local listings.
Yeah, and it will be the one race to decide it all. We had a lot
Indeed.
of matches and a lot of stuff in this tournament. And in the end, it comes down to just one race.
It's amazing to think that all of this is happening and now one race will decide the whole tournament. It's amazing to think about.
Yeah, and I mean, it is you can make a movie story out of it, or an anime story, kind of, since I mean, the run of both our runners through the tournament could have not been more different. Gem cruising through the winners bracket, not losing much at all. I think it was only 2 games he lost on the, or 2 races on the way to the finals. He didn't win, so that's the one fight.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, and Eriror on the other side took a loss in the first round to Yagamoth, and since then had to make his way to the lower bracket up until the finals to first bring down Gem or take the first 2 years to even it up, and now take it to the last game in the second best of 3 to maybe finish the story and be the one shining hero fighting against all odds, still winning.
And I was going to note, except I didn't want to interrupt you, obviously, that Eriror did have a loss in his first matchup. And he had to come back in, I'm trying to remember who he played in that matchup now, but I know that they faced off again in what was considered the lower bracket round 9. And round 9 of the tournament for Eriror. And by this point, Gem was already in the final. He only had to play about 6 or 7. I think it was 6 matches, actually, 5 or 6 matches. And other than that, Ryder had to play a lot more to get to this point. He had to beat the person who took him out. He did that in the 9th round, got through that, and then got through a couple more difficult opponents after that. So he had a lot more rando to play. He played almost twice as much rando as Jem did to get here, and he definitely earned his spot in the final by getting through as much as he did, and he definitely does deserve to win this tournament if he does get this last win. But Jem is a really, really tough opponent, as we saw in the first race of this particular series. However, it's something to note is that Eriror did pull off 3 wins out of these 4 games, so it would not be unusual to see Eriror pull off that 4th win and pull out a bracket reset and a series championship all at the same time. It would not be unusual at all.
Yeah, I actually trying to look up a kind of fun fact about Eri's run through the loser bracket. Since oh yes, I think Eri on his way through the loser bracket eliminated all 3 players of the winning team of the randomizer league of Team Awesome. He did beat Verlaine, he did beat Yoshi, and in the lower bracket finals he took down Hitsuyan. So
and that randomizer league is fun as well. I know that's going to be coming back in the future as well. It'll be interesting to see how the teams do next year, if they're on the same teams or if they do something different there next year as well. So that will be fun to keep an eye on as well. And there's always all these other little tournaments going on too, not just the German tournament, but also, of course, the major tournament, which is coming up in October. Everyone's keeping an eye out on that. October. Now, there's no guarantee; it's just estimated October. I'm going to stop what I'm saying though, because I saw both runners just left the German channel, which means they are most likely on the way to join us right now. And if I look in the waiting room right now, I see them both in here. Let's just go ahead and bring them straight in, and we'll talk to them right now. GG to both of you.
GG's.
So we'll start with Eriror this time, since you were first to finish. What did you think of that seat?
It's one of those seats where just I think by the nature you're not going to feel good about it, and I think that would count for both of us. It's just progression that's pretty much bottlenecked in pendant dungeons, and no real clear way to route it efficiently.
And now we know now that the hookshot was on the dwarf, and you both last location that from what we can tell. I don't think we had any other locations we could think of to check. So we had down to pretty much the last location at that point. Was the hookshot being on the dwarf ever a possibility that came to mind, or did you prioritize dungeons over that because of chest density, or how did you decide to do that?
Right, so I went ice first. That probably wasn't the best decision because I'm not really that knowledgeable about IP logic. There was a good chance that just by the nature of the key layout, I couldn't even be on the right side. So that probably wasn't the best idea to do first, but I wasn't feeling too good about the seat in general. Then I did the Maya area because we got the flute, and again, we got Quake. Didn't know if it was necessary. I didn't know what was necessary for Turtle Rock yet. So at that point, I might just dip in and see if the hookshot's in there. And there's just the added benefit that I might be able to find a sword, and the other one isn't easily accessible either. And that's going to save quite a bit of time if Jim doesn't find it at that point. And, well, of course, Turtle Rock is just super dense, and you have to do it anyway.
Now, early in the race, we were noticing Jem had a couple of weird movements. I'm going to come to you right now, Jem, as well. We noticed a couple of weird movements. For example, you bonked on the trying to go to the King's Tomb at one point. You bonked on the border around that tomb. And then in Palace of Darkness, you actually took a death on Helmassar King, which actually I think shocked both of us. We're hearing some bells now from someone here. But where did that death to Helmassar King play on your mind at all for the rest of the race, Jem?
Yeah, I mean, of course. Well, first of all, the death was really stupid, especially since I even drank his potion and still died, which, I don't know, felt kind of dumb. But yeah, I ended up doing some skips because of it, mainly in IP, where I just, skipped everything except like the 2 chests that are on the way to Cold Stair, which turned out okay, but it didn't save enough time. I think I also skipped Hobo. I don't think I ever went back for that. So yeah,
You just
that
have
was
$5
basically
anyway.
my gamble to make up for it.
And obviously, you got a couple of good hints in that seed. For example, we did get the hint for Swamp Palace. You had to do left side. It turns out, hey, guess what? There's your Titan Smiths. That was required. And we also had the hint to skip the purple chest. I noticed you also opened Mimic Cave, Gem. I think you did get the hint for Cash and Mimic Cave, so I'm guessing you just forgot that hint.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn. Way to make me feel bad.
Ray, go ahead. You can ask any question as well if you want. Oh, we might have lost Raylan, actually. So Raylan might not have any questions here. So now we are going into 1-1. We're in a 1-1 scenario. We are literally down to the point where one game is going to literally decide this entire tournament. Arira, first, how do you feel going into that?
Pretty much the same as always. It can go either way. I think I'm going to be pretty happy no matter what happens. Like I explained in the German interview, I came in a losers bracket round 1, and I just made my way into the final game of the tournament. So I'll just play without regrets and see what happens.
I was actually just you didn't hear it because you were doing the German interview, but I was just making a similar comment myself before you guys came over here, saying that you lost in the first round and you had to play almost twice as much round to get here. So one thing is for sure, if you do pull off this last win, you definitely have earned this championship coming back from losing in the first round. So you will have earned it in that case for sure. Meanwhile, Jem, who's our winner bracket champion, he is now facing not only the bracket reset, but the possibility. Actually, this is really his first elimination match. So how do you feel coming into this matchup, Jem?
Oh, well, I just want to have fun. I enjoy playing Eri because he's really good, and he really forces me to play my best, which doesn't really work out, at least today. But yeah, I just really enjoy tough matchups, so it's great that we get to play this many matches. And yeah, also just want to make sure that Eri gets to play as many matches for fun as he can.
Yeah, I'm totally not done with this tournament yet.
Yeah.
No way.
I'm sorry I kind of failed you by not winning one in the first best of 3.
Yeah.
Get the 6 matches.
Something that just came to mind as well, and I just remembered this because knew there was something I was trying to remember. Arira, you did not finish Misery Mire and get the green pen. Was that something that was weighing on your mind as you were still looking for the hookshot?
Yeah, I was. Especially after we got the hint that the lamp was actually in Skullwoods. That wasn't too great because I had hoped that it would be on the Smiths after the entire sequence. I think that makes sense. Yeah, that probably makes sense because so much was Sphere 1 anyway. So once I wasn't in Turtle Rock, I wasn't feeling too good because then it was like, okay, there's a chance that the game expects me to just get the lamp from Skullwoods and finish off Mire, but I didn't want to do that with just Master Sword and Lampless, and it just cost so much time.
Raylan and I were doing a lot of speculating as to what could be in Skullwoods. I had the flippers pinpoint to Skullwoods by that point myself, but he was thinking the lamp, and then both of them turned out to be there. It was kind of funny how that worked out in the end, that both items turned out to be there. We had managed to each pinpoint individual items down to Skullwoods, and they both showed up there. So it was kind of funny how that worked. Now, is it safe to say, and I guess the same question could jump as well, but we'll start with you, Ryer. Did you both make that play thinking that to Turtle Rock, thinking the lamp would be in the more convenient location, and therefore that's why you both last that location for the hookshot, the dwarf?
I mean, Turtle Rock absolutely could not have the lamp because the flute was on that mountain. So
of course.
That was safe.
We're talking about Skullwoods having the lamp in that case. So did you both make the play of Turtle Rock thinking the lamp was probably in the overworld?
Well, we pretty much knew that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we knew that it had to be Skullwoods or the Smith Chain.
Right.
Yeah, or for me, Escape.
Right.
Yeah. That was just a case where the hook shined up in the worst place because you both got last location. And yeah, as you said when you first got here, Ryer, that's a seed that you can't be feeling really good about as you're running it. So, actually, that leads to another question. Did you feel like you were behind when you did pick up the hook shot?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's pretty much last location, dude. I mean, I think it's pretty reasonable to think that players will do Smith Chain before something like Mystery Mire. But I know that Gem does like following logic at least a little bit at points. So he's like, okay, I found Quake, I found the flute, I might as well check it out. But there's always a chance that he's going to metagame or just play it safe anyway. So you never know. It's so hard.
That's why I went to Maya, because I know you.
Yeah, it felt like there might have been a little bit of playing each other a little bit, because that's a location that you would think, oh, once you have access to it, you want to get out of the way early, but you both avoided it. It almost seemed like you were playing each other in a way to say, you know what, he's already done that. If he's done it, I lost. So I moved on to something else. And then you both got last. It turned out to be quite a good race after that, because you were close the rest of the way. And I think the only difference was that Gem did left side of Gannis Tower, whereas you did right side of Rower, so that actually made it a little bit closer. You finished, I think, only about 45 seconds apart, I think, by the SRL time, somewhere in that range.
That was pretty close.
Pretty good race in the end. So any last thoughts from either of you? Actually, Raylan, do you have any questions, too, before we... are you back, Raylan?
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much asked anything there was to ask about, I think. So
okay.
I don't have any more questions.
Okay. Any last thoughts from either of the runners before we wrap up?
Thanks for the restream organization and the comms, tracking, all that stuff. And I just hope to get a good Game 5 and see what kind of exciting race we'll make for the final game.
Yeah, whatever you said.
And we want to thank both of you again for the excellent race today. That did come down to the wire, and we are, as noted, and you're calling it Game 5. Obviously, it is Game 5 for both of you. But for the series, it's Game 3. It is Game 5 between the two of you in this whole set. So this Game 3 officially is taking place on Friday. Again, 1:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 in German time. I'll speak in German. I noticed that both these last two races were also on Francais. I'm assuming we're probably going to have Francais for this one as well, but keep an eye on your local listings for that if you do follow the French channel, because you'll know then whether we're going to have that on French as well. But it will definitely be on German. We'll definitely be on English. We are looking forward to seeing this Game 3, and we wish you both luck in that race when it comes.
Thank you.
And with that said, let's take a quick look at the schedule for what's coming up on Speed Gaming for the rest of the day in terms of our upcoming schedule here. I'm just going to load that up quickly here and make sure I have the right information for you. We are looking at a Star Wars Episode 1 Racers event starting here in a couple minutes. We're going to probably transition to that layout, because that starts at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. So that will be coming up very, very shortly here. Stay on this channel. You will get to see some exciting racing action on that channel, and actual vehicle racing in that case. In terms of other events coming up, it doesn't look like the channels are assigned for these yet, but there is going to be a link to the Past Randomizer Daily Open Race. If you want to play this randomizer yourself, here's your chance to do that. And you can play with everyone in that race, 9 o'clock tonight. Those take place 2 o'clock, 9 o'clock every day, Monday to Friday, and there's also a weekly on the weekend at 5:30 you can take part in. Other events going on today, we have the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer weekly race and the Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo. Those are at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock respectively. Keep an eye on the schedule for where those end up assigned, and we will bring those to you wherever those end up assigned. So any last thoughts for you, Raylo, before we do wrap up?
I want to do thanks to our runners for putting on an amazing show, and of course to our tracker over from the German community, Danny, doing.
Yeah, he's listening right now. Old Dammy is in the channel with us. Make sure he knows when to end this. So thank you, Old Dammy, for tracking. Exactly. Carry on.
And also, of course, to you for commentating this race with me. It was a lot of fun, and I would happily do that again. So thanks for your assistance and your input here.
And thank you for joining as well. I've been enjoying this entire series. I think I've called all but one of these races in the series, so I've really been enjoying this series. And obviously, I prefer if any German commentators do want to take Game 3, they're welcome to. But if not, I'll be happy to do this again on Friday, because I've been enjoying this whole set. So looking forward to seeing how the final race carries on here. Again, I want to thank Gem and Rob for the great race. I want to thank Old Demi, as you said, for tracking. And you can follow him at his Twitch channel, just as you heard it, Old Dammy, D-A-M-M-I. Make sure to follow Raylan Tanker as well. I'm Cyclone or Cyclone GU on Twitch. Other than that, there's not much else for us to say here. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, the other events I mentioned coming up tonight, those are live events. So what you're going to see next on this channel, well, not really much else to look forward to. The final race of this tournament coming up on YouTube right after this. So keep an eye out for that on this playlist. Other than that, everyone have a wonderful rest of your afternoon or evening, as the case may be, wherever you are. And we will see you for game number 3 on Friday. Don't miss it. The tournament is on the line. It will be won on Friday. Until then, may not all your seeds be pet seeds. Raylan, you get the final word.